I've always had a soft spot for city builders and strategy planner games, and while there's so many genres out there that I love, this is a type that I keep coming back to time and time again, and it's so nice to see that from the days of such classics like No Man's Land, Age of Mythology, and Black and White, this type of game is still going strong, and there's a really good demand for it. Against the Storm is a unique survival city builder with roguelike elements, an interesting combination that works well and something I've lost several hours to. Your goal is to venture into the land surrounding the smouldering city upon orders of the Scorched Queen, to face the dangerous secrets the land has to offer and build colonies. When you start the game, you'll be dropped into a wilderness area with a small amount of inhabitants to start building your settlement. This game features different types of villager, and each one comes with their own strengths, weaknesses, as well as food and house preferences, which you can use to your advantage. For example, beavers specialise in wood cutting, which is something you'll need plenty of, but they're very demanding, and eating biscuits will raise the morale, whereas harpies are perfect for alchemy tasks but are so incredibly fragile, so choose wisely. If morale gets too low with a specific race of villager, they'll leave the settlement, which can be disastrous if they're needed for specific tasks. Your success in the game is based on status, depicted in the bar below. Your reputation is blue, and the Queen's impatience is red. Over time, you'll receive orders to complete, for which you'll have to navigate the land around you and do specific tasks to complete these. When you do, your reputation will increase. However, the longer you leave a task incomplete, the more frustrated the Queen will get and the red bar will grow. You must keep your reputation high and complete the blue bar before the red reaches the end, otherwise you'll lose the game and need to start again. Each order you get comes with two options for you to select which one you'd prefer and which reward is more appealing. Some orders can only be finished by having certain buildings, so you'll need to choose wisely before accepting. Another challenging element to the game is the hearth, which serves as the central hub of every new settlement. It functions as its own specialised structure, and villagers will gravitate towards the nearest lit hearth during breaks, seeking warmth and to eat. To get more positive modifiers on your settlement, you can choose to upgrade your hearth, which is influenced within a certain radius. The hearth you start each game with must always remain lit. If it goes out, all villagers will lose resolve, and that can cause them to leave, so it's useful to have a constant source of fuel and keep the flame burning. Once you've got your reputation bar up to full, you'll return to the main map where you can spend your experience points, claim rewards, and choose where to head next. There are 6 different biomes in the world which alter your gameplay, which is a really nice touch, and it means you're not seeing the same map several times. Each location presents a different and unique challenge for you to encounter, and you'll need to adjust your strategy to the changing weather conditions, types of plants, and modifiers in each area. You can choose to be cautious, or you can go for a riskier method. In order to explore the land around you, you'll need to cut down trees and venture into the fog clouds called glades, which will reveal another section of the map. This may have additional resources or trigger random events. Not all glades are safe, and some will present you with events that will need to be finished in a certain amount of time, otherwise they'll trigger a modifier that will harm your town or population. This could be anything from an earthquake to a paranormal force directly murdering your villagers, so be sure that you're quick thinking and ready before facing these types of challenges. This is something I really liked about the gameplay, as you never know what you'll find beyond the trees and it keeps you on your toes. And there were so many instances I came across a haunted pirate ship or a hungry mistworm that I had to defeat, but I didn't have the right resources. As a result, their negative effects slowly destroyed my village, so I had to work fast to defeat the threat. It's a perfect balance of challenging to enjoyable gameplay, so you always feel like you have a fair chance of winning, even when things start getting a little bit hairy. The game follows a similar pattern seen in other city builders, where you'll need to create structures to support different jobs for your villagers, and you'll need to unlock blueprints to improve production, create resources and advance your settlement. What's unique about some of these buildings is that unlike some other city builders, you're able to move them so that villagers can start working in a different radius. This is really useful as most of the buildings gather from finite resources which deplete over time. Once you complete your reputation and win, you'll unlock more blueprints, receive experience points and rewards, and you can spend these points back at the smouldering city. You can use these to improve your future settlement, such as villager walking speed or consumption of materials, which should make things a little bit easier the further on you get. While basic buildings such as woodcutting and gathering huts are initially provided, Progressing reputation points gives you the power to choose which building to unlock for the current turn, so the experience remains dynamic and engaging, with you having to make the best decision for your specific playthrough. Visually, Against the Storm looks great, and the in-game art style really suits the fantasy environment, which each biome you visit looking appealing, and it gives the game a lot of character. It's the same with its soundtrack, which is a mix of relaxing, dark ambience, which sets the scene perfectly and really complements the gameplay, so a huge thumbs up there. In brief, Against the Storm strikes an ideal balance, offering both a challenging and addictively engaging gameplay experience, with distinctive elements that kept me hooked for more. While the game is still in its early access phase, I believe it could benefit from such introductions of various gameplay modes, such as maybe a larger combat map, similar to what I've observed in other games. Nevertheless, the current state of the game is impressively solid, and for an early access title, it really does exhibit a high level of polish. This suggests a really genuine commitment from the developers to crafting a quality gaming experience. Unlike many incomplete early access games, Against the Storm stands out, and I'm really pleased to see the dedication is evident in its development. Right now I do feel like I have exhausted all the game has to offer, but it's also exceeded my expectations for what I thought would be another basic city builder. I would say if this is a genre that you're really a fan of and you welcome a challenge, absolutely give it a go, because it does have a lot to offer, and it's something you can definitely expect to sink several hours into. If you want to stay updated about this and other games like this, subscribe to the channel and give a like, it's really appreciated. I expect this is something that will keep improving in early access, and more features will be added over time. See you next time.
We started anew in these ruthless, untamed lands. We built foundations for what we hope to call home. May fortune favor us this time. We couldn't save all, but there was no time for mourning. We had to search for food, but the woods are strange. We disturbed the forest and angered its spirits. To live again in harmony, we sent our bravest to appease them. By the grace of the Queen, our village thrived. But as we progressed, the forest fought back. In the end, the blight came. But we will keep the fire burning, no matter the cost.